Welcome back to SmokeHouse. Does a prolonged use of marijuana make you lazy or unproductive? I don't believe so, and now a new study suggests no. Now I'll put the link to this study in my description. Now this theory that it makes you lazy or unproductive is called Cannabis amotivational syndrome. This theory suggests that the prolonged use of marijuana leads to apathy and therefore laziness and unproductiveness. Now in this study, they used 25 users of cannabis, 68% of which were labeled as abusers of cannabis, and then 22 that were not users of cannabis to be a control group. Now, the study had some interesting results. It showed that it really helped with their ADHD, and it actually showed that things like Prozac actually gave more apathy than the marijuana to the user. Now, not just this study, I'll use a little bit of my own experience. Now, I have abused marijuana. It is possible to do it, but I mean, you can abuse anything. People abuse food, people abuse tobacco, people abuse coffee. I mean, there are so many things. It doesn't even necessarily have to be addictive for somebody to abuse it. Now, I have used marijuana in abundance just to dull my senses. And yes, I was lazy and I was unproductive, but it wasn't necessarily just the marijuana that did that. It was my own state of mind. It was what I wanted. I wanted to use that marijuana as a crutch to bring me down so I didn't have to worry about things. However, I had total control. I could have changed my mind. And that is actually what I did. When I realized what I could do with marijuana to actually help my health, I really was able to switch my mind and my habits so that marijuana could benefit me in so many ways. So it is possible. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's because marijuana that you're going to be lazy. It can make it very easy if you want it to, but it's all about what you want from it. No medication is just going to fix you. Marijuana is the same way. You can't just take marijuana and expect it to do all these things people tell you. You have to have the willpower and the know-how to use marijuana as a tool, not to let it control you. I truly don't believe that marijuana can control a person like other addictive substances. I believe everyone has the ability to change their mind on marijuana. So if you're sitting there and you think you're addicted to marijuana, you can say, no, I don't want to do this. And you can actually change that without the worry of withdrawals. And that's an amazing thing with marijuana. You can choose to or not to. Things that are addictive, you cannot do that. It takes control of your mind and you are unable to make certain judgments with yourself. Marijuana, at least in my opinion, does not have that hindrance on your mind. At least it doesn't on mine. And I've abused other drugs and they have controlled me. I had very difficult time switching it. I needed other people's help. But on marijuana, I'm able to make those decisions. I have that willpower. And I'm actually more productive now than I ever was when I was on any other medication or drug than marijuana. It has really helped me to get out of my shell and to experience life in such a way that others could not understand. When you haven't been controlled by a substance, you really can't understand how freeing it is to have some kind of medication that you don't have to worry about being addicted to. You have your own willpower with it. That is amazing. And I just want people to understand that they can. If people are telling you that you cannot, you're probably going to believe that you can't, and you're not going to have that willpower. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I have no medical experience. This is all my own knowledge and my own experience gained in my own life. So please take it as that. However, I have a lot of experience. I've been smoking for over 10 years, and I've been actually medicating with it for about 7. I was able to take control of my life myself with marijuana without anyone's help. I really wish I had help though. Not a lot of people understood it or accepted it when I was going through my issues. Now a lot more people understand and are accepting of it, me being one of them. And I have gone through this experience. So I hope that people can find help from my videos and ask me any questions through my Instagram or through my email. Please, if you ever have any questions or need any help that you don't want anybody else to know, please contact me on there. I would love to be able to help you where I can. It is amazing what this plant can do for so many, those with PTSD, those with anxiety, those with ADHD, and this is just what we know of so far. There's so much to learn with cannabis. I want this to be legalized so that we can do so many more studies on it medicinally to see how many more things that the cannabinoids, whether they're acids or compounds, how many more things that they can help with. I mean, there's so much to this plant. And I have so much passion to it helping others. I enjoy it as a recreational plant, and I love that people can enjoy it recreationally. But I also want people to realize that there's so many benefits to it medicinally. We can get so many people away from addictive substances with marijuana that they can control so much easier, either by themselves or with support. But I believe it can be for so many more people than we even understand. And so, yes, I do enjoy getting high with this plant, but that is so minuscule in the wide abundance of what marijuana and cannabis as a whole might be able to do for health and for humanity. And not just health-wise, this plant can help bring people together. I mean, I used to be so single-minded in my youth. When I started using cannabis, it really opened my mind up to the opportunities, the possibilities with other cultures, with other religions, with other people. I have gotten to know so many people around the world, so many different cultures, and I am accepting of everybody. And I have done that with the aid of this plant. It helped to open receptors in my mind that were originally closed off. It helps me to be able to understand what people are talking about. It helps me to be able to relate to what people are talking about. It helps to give me empathy. And let's be honest, this is something our world sorely needs, is for all of us to come together. Just because one person has a belief and another person has another belief doesn't mean that you have to hate each other. You can respect each other's opinions and still love each other as human beings. Anyway, my point is there's so much that this plant can do for us health-wise, both medicinally and mentally, and even culturally. It can help us all come together and it can help us all heal. There's so much to this plant, and there's so much for us to learn and understand. If you learned anything or you enjoyed this video at all, please leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. And also, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button if you'd like to stay up to date with videos coming out in the future. And now, as always, Jay is going to go smoke a J.